Hello everybody, it's Mr. Cooper here. I hope you are all well and keeping safe. I just want to spend a few moments to talk about the primary assessment day that is due to take place this Thursday. So over the next few days, you will be receiving a letter which outlines all the details you need in order to support your child completing the 2 assessments during our assessment day. It will include details about the assessments, why we're doing them, and also include your child's login details for both of the assessments. If you don't receive this letter before the end of Tuesday, then please contact your class teacher and they will be able to make sure that you have that in preparation for Thursday. The purpose of this video is just an opportunity for me to go through a few of the details that are in the letter, but also to answer a few of the questions that I've been receiving from parents in order to support you and develop your understanding of why we're doing these assessments and how you can best support your child on Thursday. The key thing to remember is that these are assessments, not tests, not examinations. The only purpose of these assessments is to figure out and get a summary of what the children's strengths are and what the children's next steps are. We will use this information then to plan for future lessons over this remote learning period in the coming weeks, but also start to plan and adapt the curriculum in preparation for September so that we can really personalise the learning for each individual student. So therefore it's really important we get an accurate picture of what your child can and can't do. The fantastic thing about these assessments is they're not standardised, which means it is not the same test for every single child. The assessment will ask a child one question. If they get that right, the next question will be more difficult. If they get that question right again, the next question will be even more difficult. If they get that question wrong, then the next question will be slightly easier. During the assessment, the questions will get more and more difficult until your child finds a question that they cannot answer. Once they get to that point, the questions will then get easier until the assessment has figured out exactly what level your child is working at, which is why it's important that you do not over-support your child, because we need a very accurate picture to identify what your child's next steps are. It's also important to note that the children are very familiar with both assessments. The STAR Maths assessment is used every single half term, again to check what the children can do very well and what their next steps are. The NGRT assessment is a new assessment, however it's almost identical to the STAR Reader assessment that we use again every half term to check for next steps and strengths. And so the children do not need to practice any questions because they should already be very familiar with the way that the assessment works and how to answer each of the questions. So the key things to note is that both assessments will be shared via Seesaw in the same way as we share all of our lessons. The key things to note on my letter is that at 9 a.m, all our teachers will go live as usual. They will do some reading warm-ups and then the children will go into their reading assessment via Seesaw, click on the link and it will take them through to the assessment login page. At 10:45 a.m, when the next live session normally takes place, teachers will do a maths warm-up and following that they will go into Seesaw, access the link to the STAR Maths assessment, log in using the details provided and complete their STAR Maths assessment. All the other lessons will continue as normal. Both assessments should take around about 25 minutes. However, if your child takes longer, then please do not worry. Give them that opportunity to complete the assessment. If it takes 30, 35 minutes, 40 minutes, give them that time. Once they've finished the assessment, please press submit. So I'm sure you'll be asking how you can support your child at home during these assessments. Your child does not need to do any revision for these assessments. We want to get a clear, accurate picture of what your child can and can't do so that we can inform our planning in the future. If your child revises or you support your child too much, we will get an inaccurate picture of what your child can and can't do, and it will be very difficult for teachers to personalise the learning for those children. All we ask for parents is for you to make sure that your child is calm, relaxed, happy, and ready to go with all the correct equipment so that they can access the assessments as easily as possible. In the reading test, we ask that you don't read the questions to them because that's what we're assessing them on. However, if they're unsure where to click or what to do next, you can support them with that. And with the maths assessment, you can read the questions to them because we're assessing their math skills, not their reading skills, but please don't support them in any calculations as you want to know whether they can do that independently or not. The resources that they will need to complete the assessment is a device, an Apple iPad, an Android, or some form of laptop. Of course, they will need an internet connection as all the assessments are done online. Your child may wish to wear headphones if they're in an environment that has a bit more noise so they can hear what is being said to them in the assessments. However, if your child is completing it where they can hear their speakers from their laptop or their iPad or device, then headphones are not required. We also advise that our students have a piece of paper and a pencil if they wish to write anything down or complete any calculations in their maths assessment, for example, so they can work that out on paper and then click on the correct answer. So why are we asking your child to take these assessments? Assessment actually is an umbrella for all kinds of different things that happen in school. Your teachers are already assessing your children on a day-to-day basis based upon the live sessions and the way they're interacting in those, and also assessing the work that children are submitting via Seesaw. These assessments that will be taking place on Thursday will add to this picture to allow teachers to really understand what their children are achieving at the moment and what their next steps are. And it's really important that we use that assessment information to personalise the learning in future lessons for all of our students. These assessment results will then be all added together and shared with you in a summative grade at the end of year, as has been the case with previous years. So if your child is on track and demonstrating that they are working at the correct level for their year group, that will be added as a securing grade at the end of the year, which will incorporate these summative assessments, but also the assessments that are taking place on a day-to-day basis. If you have any technical issues, then please contact your class teacher. And if your child is sick on the day, then please also inform your class teacher. We may be able to organise a different day for your child to complete the assessment when they're feeling better. If something goes wrong during the test, please do not panic. See if you can reset the assessment and start again. And again, if you do have any issues that you cannot resolve, then again, please contact your class teacher. We are happy to help. So I hope this video has been useful in reassuring you and providing you some information as to why we are doing these assessments. Remember, it's really important we get an accurate picture. We want to know what the children's strengths are and we want to know what their next steps are so we can ensure that we can personalise the learning experiences for all of our students as best as possible. If you do have any further questions, then please contact your class teacher. We are more than happy to help. Thank you very much for your time.